everybody. Sorry about that. My computer was just like, James, this short origin story is way too long. And then it just died.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
And then they fired me off. And they fired me off scene because I wasn't keeping James on track.
You weren't doing this. Wrap it up, James. Wrap it up. All these things that you learn behind the scenes.
But I do have the video loaded
that we were trying to queue up.
That's funny. Yeah, like right as you started, in fact. But I guess the summary as we wait for everyone to kind of repopulate into the room. Okay, there it goes. It just hit Twitch, and I think we should be up on YouTube and Facebook.
Yep, it's good on YouTube.
Okay, great, awesome. So yeah, we wanted to make a movie, and we started writing in the beginning of 2020. We kind of took the quarantine as an opportunity to brainstorm together, and three of us, oh hey Danzig, three of us would meet almost weekly for a while and just come up with storyline and plotline ideas.
Yeah, Jim Mitchell, myself, and Emoto. So I wrote the original story, and then they came in and beefed it up or changed it depending upon. But everybody could contribute without what I called project creep / going. If you go on it's one thing to augment a story. It's another thing to give us your own story. So we had a lot of people that gave us storylines that were like, that would be a great story if it was a different story. And so we were looking for positive things to augment our story, but not have something that had a ripple effect that would destroy the story. So my goal as a director was to keep everybody on task to make sure that those stories were coming together, and as well as find avenues inside of it for like Lisa to then show, through our dream sequences throughout the film, actually have them have a context as well as, showcase her talents as well. So we wanted to include all kinds of different techniques and different music and different things and the different techniques in the film. And I think we have a story that will do that, as well as if you're not into pinball, if you're not a animation fan, if you're not if you're a young person of any kind, I think you could watch this and identify with it, have fun with it, and then have a good time with this film. It's not what we're making isn't deep, but it should be good. So, are we down again or are we back?
We're back.
That's all good.
We're good.
It's all good.
All right. So, anyway, that's enough ramble for me. Let's watch this thing and then figure out what we're talking about in the next little chunk.
Sweet. That sounds.
Thank you for putting up with me, guys. I'm pent up.
You're pent up. Aww.
I got all kinds of ideas. Just got to get them out there. Like making stuff.
Oh, this is interesting.
So Jim came up with an idea. I'll give a little lead into this, where everybody can contribute and show their support. And we made a little video about it, and we'll put it up on the YouTubes. We'll put it up on the website. But this is our little proof of concept idea. I think it's really awesome, as well as it's cheap. So let's watch it.
Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us back. This is our official part 2 of Big Picture Pinball Show, because I crashed us all and we burned for a little bit, but we're back. We have risen from the ashes, and thank you Danzig for saying no doubt it'll be much better than Willy's Wonderland. But I liked Willy's Wonderland.
I liked Willy's Wonderland too.
Yeah.
I did. I really enjoyed Willy's Wonderland.
Have you seen that yet, Lisa? Lisa Barcy, have you seen Willy's Wonderland yet?
I have not. No.
Are you a fan of Nicolas
How he
Cage?
survives through.
Sure.
I think it's like a nice merriment of like Five Nights at Freddy's with pinball, and then Nicolas Cage at like the forefront of all of it.
Is
It's
it
the best.
like? Is it like so bad it's good, or is it actually good?
You don't have to worry.
I don't think it's meant to be taken seriously.
Okay, no. So like more camp.
Yeah.
It's a tongue-in-cheek horror film. So if you don't mind a little bit of blood, if not a lot of blood, as well as it's got some pinball in there, and Nicolas Cage gives the performance of his life in it. It is so good. He has come out with some amazing stuff the last couple of films he's been doing. And this is the first film where I was like, oh my God, this man's he's a gift. But right, you just have to see it. All right.
If you guys, just a quick Big Picture Pinball Show plug. Last season, you can find it on our YouTube page. We interviewed the production designer and the custom pinball maker of Willy's Wonderland, and it was awesome. And there's a future movie project going on with that too. Oh, look, and Chip's back as well.
Chip!
Screen there. That's funny. All right, we're going to the content screen. We'll see you guys.
Show your support for Skillshot Baby, a feature film written by James Moriarty and I. And to do that, anytime you get a high score on a pinball machine on location, put the initials SSB, take a selfie, and then email it to us at info@skillshotbaby.com, and we'll send you a very special Skillshot Baby swag pack. For more information, check out our website, skillshotbaby.com. For more information...
Oh my God, James.
What are you laughing at, Emoto?
James, your comp is great. The high score comp that you put on a stirred machine is my new favorite thing ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 130 on Guardians?
You were great.
On a stirred machine. Solid. That would be like a feat just to get that. Be like, I don't even know if you punch the ball, you get that score. I love it. Thank you, Joel, for doing our very first ever SSB submission.
Now Joel didn't give me a picture of himself like giving a thumbs up. He just sent us in his score.
But
it's on his own machine though, isn't it?
You can see the lights and stuff.
So, but I composited that into the Stern machine to give a good example of it. So, awesome. Maybe that's sacrilege, but it proved the point.
No,
so,
I love it, and it's it'll be a good segue to when we hopefully at our next Big Picture Pinball Show, when we go back to sharing other people's content, we have a really fun short film that was shot at Lynn's Arcade that kind of has that theme of blending reality and fantasy.
So to share your support and promote the program from here on until the feature comes out, do us a big favor. You don't have to take your top score, but let's get some SSBs on the game so that when you're playing a pinball game, you're like, hey, look, SSB. And if you do this for us, take a selfie of it, send it to us. We'll happily share it on the Big Picture Show, as well as send you some really cool swag. And as swag comes in, it's going to probably evolve a little bit, but we do have our SSB tokens that have come in, and we have keychains now that we can then give out to those people who give us really cool high scores. So you will receive our custom made token. I know, terrible. And on one side it says Skillshot Baby, and the other side it says Barcade, and you'll learn all about the token as well as the necklace. Not necessarily the necklace, but you'll learn all about this token and why it's important in our short film.
I'm excited to see them in person.
So
it looks so cool.
You're gonna just get one in the mail. So
it's
put it in a machine and see if it works.
So yeah, we gotta get a machine made.
And hers forever.
So you just get one in the mail for being cool. Same thing for you, Chip. So, as well as if you, so my next segue is to our the people who've already contributed to the Skillshot Baby Kickstarter, and one of our most current, or basically the tiers go stuff that's kind of digital, that's easy to get out to. One of those things will be a song from Chip, the Chip song. You can download it off of Bandcamp at a high resolution and listen to it. So digital things. And then once we kind of go into the things that we actually have to mail and make, this is one of the earlier things. So everybody can get one of these necklaces. As well as by having these tokens. Emoto, do you want to say what's special about these tokens and the necklaces?
Yes, they bring you very good pinball luck and fortune for as long as you carry it with you. And you can use it to get into special pinball events that we'll be doing as Marco Pinball at shows, as well as with Skillshot Baby, any of our screenings or VIP parties. Once we get that up and running, we're going to have a lot of opportunities where you just show this token, this special token, and then we're going to let you in.
We'll open the velvet ropes for you. Specifically you, we'll open those velvet ropes. It's a key upon greeting us and hanging out with us behind the scenes in premieres, cool, as well as. I think it's a good idea.
It's gonna be good.
And Jen's going to be giving some of them away too. I thought Jen had a plan for some of them as well. But...
yeah, I'm excited.
We should do a parade, and then me and Jen just have like,
yes.
We got lots of.
New Orleans style.
Ooh, I don't know about New Orleans style. That might hurt. Like those are like a little bit. I'm sure they're a little bit heavier than like the party beads.
Party beads.
Or, yeah.
It's a great token, and just as one of the things for this episode, if you are asking questions in the chat and participating in our conversation, you will get a chance at the end of this episode to potentially win one. That's our swag giveaway for the day, James.
We're going to give away? All right. I think that's appropriate.
The very first giveaway.
The very first token.
Token, so.
Wow.
Ask those questions.
I already called number one though.
we should figure out some way. Okay.
Number one, new in box. Mine.
I'm gonna do some kind of like weird etching to it. It's like number one, number two.
Right on it with a permanent marker.
Yeah. It'll be like I have the first token.
Ask questions in the chat for everyone. We'll do the little giveaway in a little while here.
All right. So we talked about the auditions. We showed our SSB supporter campaign. Hey Chip, do you got a bass for us to show her? Is he still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, let me go grab it. Talk about something else for a second.
Turn on some lights while you come back too, man.
I did the same thing, and then my computer died, so.
Hanging in the dark. All right, so we did the campaign. We did that. We have the Kickstarter video. Well, let's see if there's any more questions. You got any questions for Lisa? She's still hanging out back there for those people who love animation. Any other questions? And then let's do our
Jonathan Bodge, do you have any questions for Lisa? You're really excited to hear from the animator, so now is your chance to ask questions to her. While we wait for you to type, Indie Racing now asked, can those tokens be used in any given machine? No. Not legally. Try, but that would be messed up.
I have another kind of long-winded story about Chuck E. Cheese, and that's probably why I do the writing, because I got too many stories. My wife grew up in Chicago, and her friend worked at Chuck E. Cheese, and just had restocked the tokens, did all that stuff at Chuck E. Cheese. And they used to use them on the Dan Ryan in Chicago on the tollway. They used to have these little cups that you would throw tokens in, and Chuck E. Cheese used to open up the tollway for them. So they would just drive through throwing Chuck E. Cheese tokens into the brain. So maybe they do still work on the tollway. You should give them a shot.
No, that's so messed up. I mean, yeah. Wait.
So messed up. Oh yeah.
Until somebody gets them in their change, and they're like, "What is this?"
It's a Canadian penny.
It's a Canadian. We need to find a machine. There is the dream of having a Skillshot Baby machine made from our film one day, and it is still a dream. We hope that one day that we have success with the film and that we actually have a pinball machine made. But if we do, we'll have a special machine dedicated to those tokens, and it'll just let you play all night. One token will give you like 1,000 games. I don't know.
Nice.
Can we do a special token machine?
So question for Lisa. Are you a pinball player? We kind of captured your pinball story earlier, but if you could.
So I really enjoy playing it. I'm not a regular player, and that's probably why I'm really terrible at it. So yeah, any tips are welcome.
We're all pretty bad at pinball, except for Jen. Jen is.
So sure enough, I want to know, Lisa, what's your favorite game that you've played?
I don't know. When we were at the convention, I think my favorite ended up being the Munsters game. but at the Logan Arcade in Chicago now, they have a Stranger Things game. And I just think it's funny that they have all the cast members. Like there's a little Paul Reiser on the back artwork.
Yeah.
It's very funny to me.
I love Stranger Things.
That's the wonderful thing about pinball, is that it really embraces popular culture too. So hopefully our Skillshot baby will become part of that popular culture. And but at the same time, it's the artwork, the just the kinetic art of pinball. I always find it exciting, and everybody plays better than I do. I just enjoy being there and having my personal best against
James,
me and the game at the
pinball
time.
Machine. Tom has requested everyone say what your favorite pinball machines are.
Funhouse, yeah.
Class of 1812.
Nice. Brian, Chip.
It's hard to choose.
It is.
Gorgar, maybe Haunted House. I don't know. Tons of them.
Ooh, Haunted House is a good one. Haunted House is solid. I like Haunted House.
Heavy. And my favorite is always Hard Body. Best game of all time. You got to flex it.
Really? Oh wow.
And if you have never played Hard Body, then you don't understand. But if you've actually
played it,
all right.
It's intense. Oh, Indie Racing that says The Shadow. Yes, Shadow's on my top 10. Drager said Doctor Who. Amazing.
I still can never figure out how everybody does they have that shot dialed in on Doctor Who. As many times as I played it, I can't do it. I cannot do it. But I do enjoy The Shadow. I like The Shadow a lot.
Yeah. Change the little plurbas. Are they plurbas? No.
Plumbus.
Right?
So,
Plumbus?
Since we're talking about
it's Rick and Morty.
Plumbus. The Plumbus.
Don't jostle the Plumbus, Emoto.
I like to.
Okay. Since we're giving call outs to our favorite games, let's also give a call out. As we are talking about the project, the Indianapolis community of pinball people are really coming together to help us out a little bit, and we had some very positive and supportive comments coming in. Do you want to talk a little bit about Emoto? Do you want to say something about Mike and his reaching out to us from Wizards Pinball in Fort Wayne? They're going
Wizards World.
So we want to just say thank you for reaching out to us. We will be back in touch with you very soon. But he saw our Kickstarter campaign, and he is going to help the production with getting the machines that we need to make this happen. In exchange, we're going to come and hang out with him a little bit, and promote his pinball arcade, and we just have to give a big thanks to him, and we will reach out to him shortly, and embrace him.
Wizards World is an awesome arcade. They have 200 games there or something.
I haven't been there. I'm going soon.
Close. Yeah, I'll be there in 3 weeks. Yeah. He's got the largest amount of Insider Connecteds, I believe, in the world.
What is that? What's Insider Connect? Oh, just
Stern's Insider
Stern's?
Connected. Yeah.
Well, he's Funhouse plays a big part in our game too. So he said that he might be able to track down a Funhouse for us. He's gonna be a huge help to the project. You've spent how many you play competitive pinball, Jen, which I think is a really great influence, especially because our characters in our film, we have a woman pinball player, obviously, and to get people like yourself and Emoto involved so that we can live through that experience. Natalie Notos out of Upper Indiana, she does some really great stuff too. But hanging out with you guys, learning more about your passion, it helps me a lot about expressing what you guys do in the film. But you're a competitive pinball player. You've been up to Wizards World how many times now to play competitive pinball?
Too many to count.
Really? That's a pretty long haul for you too. You're in Ohio.
Yeah, I am in Ohio. It's like a 2.5 hour drive. It's not too far. It's a decent day trip, but Mike does a lot to support the women's community as well as trying to get like kids involved in the sport as well. And he just keeps those machines so well tamed and just like is an awesome host. So any opportunity I have to go back there, I'm going because he's such a great guy.
Awesome. And there's a big event coming up too
there is, yeah. We got WoW 2, which is the Women of Wizards 2. I think that's what the name of it is. Sorry if I'm wrong with it, Mike. I just to call it WoW 2. But it's the big Wizards tournament at the end of August. So we'll be there for the whole weekend. There's, I believe, 4 tournaments over 3 days.
Wow.
For women's only. So it's going to be a really good time. I believe
when they have a big tournament like that too, can you still come in and play games? Is it in a particular area? Is it large enough, or do you guys take over the entire arcade at the time?
I don't think he has it open to the general public during those tournament days. Okay. Depending on it is like, I don't think on Saturday he'll be open to the general public, but I think like Friday night and maybe like Sunday he will be. But you know, when it's like a big, larger tournament like that, typically it's like a small private event. I would say small because it draws in a lot of people. I think there's like, from the last list he sent me, I think there's 25 women signed up. And then I think like on the Bells and Chimes Facebook, there has just been like a lot more that said they're coming that I didn't see on the list. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, go sign up for it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's great watching this place grow because I just there's been so many amazing pinball spots popping up all across the country. It's really hard to keep track as much as I try. But I kept seeing posts from Dalton Ely, who is from my hometown and represents Georgia in pinball competitions, and he was over there slaying. And I was like,
he won. I think
Dalton?
He won.
Where's Dalton? And then
I think he won WW4 this year.
Yep.
Yeah, he won in June.
That's amazing.
Indiana was pretty much a pinball desert. I came from Chicago where there was pinball from everywhere. Everywhere there was pinball. Every bar had a pinball game.
Indiana has a lot of pinball
moved down.
Now,
well, it's really grown. I mean, it's been 20 years since I was in Chicago.
Fort
more.
Wayne,
but yeah, it's Fort Wayne's blowing up, and then Indianapolis has finally got a couple places. Some of them closed down because of COVID, and it's good to know that there's still some bigger operations that survive that. So people's passions keep it going.
We have another question in the chat. I want to answer. I just posted it earlier too. Dave Paisan asked Jen, "Is that you in the Hub Challenge video?" Because I just shared that with everyone, and I think he's talking about the one where you guys are like, "You want to play pinball?"
Yes, that is me. Dancing. Yes, I was in Pittsburgh over the weekend, and anytime I'm in Pittsburgh, I gotta stop and see my hub crew. They're amazing. I got to meet Nikki for the first time of Tilt Cycle. I was so excited to meet her. And then I got to see Jordan, and we streamed for a little bit. But yes, that was me. We each filmed a TikTok to put on our TikTok. So thank you for sharing. They're an awesome crew. I love them so much.
Awesome. I'm posting it. I'm posting it to the Facebook because that's where I saw it too. But it's a fun little video. Awesome. From Ben Rob, question: what can we do to help? I feel like this is a good segue question too, James.
Well, we have a Kickstarter campaign out there. So we're about, I don't know, I haven't looked, but we're close to halfway there. We still have another, I should just look, but we have another probably like 18 days or so before the Kickstarter is over. And anybody that can come by and contribute to the Kickstarter, once we hit our goals. Kickstarter is one of those things that it's all or nothing, and it's scary as hell. But if we don't get our budget, it's going to be a lot harder to get our goals accomplished. It's not that we will stop. It's just that some of the things that we want to give out the premiums that we have, we think that they're really fun, but we can't make those until the end. And of course, the film project, our short film project, will not be completed. As far as, if not, we'll see. We will be doing a table read with actors in November, no matter what. So the project will go on, and we will still share what we're trying to do and evolve. But getting people to learn about that, sharing our content out there is a big deal. We'll play at the end our whole kind of Kickstarter video that we had to make for Kickstarter that Emoto presented. And that kind of gives us the what to do, how to do it. If you're in Indianapolis or Indiana area, we're looking for volunteers to be on set and to help us out, do different things. Come to the shoot, help us do different things. If you're an actor or a character of any sort, just a wacky guy, wacky woman, sign up for an audition. Let us meet you and hang out with you and see what you have to offer. If you are an artist and you want to help in behind the scenes, if you are any kind of filmmaker, we will embrace you. And it might not be for the short, it might be for the feature. And again, that all boils down to scheduling and time and how much time other people have. But just share and be a part of our community. And we'll share back. We have so much to offer, I think. So both, the support for pinball and the love of pinball, as well as all these wonderful people. You can hang out with them. You get to hang out with Moto and Jen and our good friend, the rocket scientist Chip Burge, and this wonderful animator named Lisa, bringing all these people together for this project. It's going to be so cool. Just buy in.
It is.
Can I
really
do another
excited.
question, James, before we go to
Oh, hell yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just rambling.
Shout outs.
Yeah. I want to ask Chip some questions about some of those lyrics and that weird ass, what a berry is and some other stuff, but we'll hit him up in a second.
We're
Go
going
ahead.
on 2 hours on the stream now.
Oh, okay.
We might have to do another part.
We can always do more
3 of
stuff.
this stream. But Jonathan, Mr. Bodge asked, so Brian, this is for you, Chip. Brian, music is key. I watched a documentary about Trevor Rabin last night. Are you familiar with his work? He's unmuting.
Yeah, I gotta unmute the thing. Yeah, the name's familiar. I'm trying to remember. I can't think off the top of my head. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about him, and it'll spark a memory or two.
Yeah, Jonathan.
So as he types that in, and we have Chip up unmuted. Tell us a little bit about some of the references that you and Moto came up with for the lyrics for our theme song. There's some amazing, really fun, goofy lyrics in that thing, and I just want to highlight them because I think it says a lot about you guys. You as a writer as well, because I didn't know what to write about. And we were kind of pitched you this idea, and you're like, give me some ideas. I think Emoto obviously contributed some ideas, but you sculpted this thing out of nothing. It just blows me away. So tell us a little bit about what you got that out of a...
Well, I mean, pinball culture is such a kind of a deep thing, It's, a lot of slang words, and I picked up a lot of them, I guess, from YouTube and from playing around. Back at what was the name of that bar that we used to go to back in Indy?
We had
bar
Alley Cat.
The Alley Cat. So they had a couple pinball machines, and every once in a while people come in and play those. So that, and there's the Internet Pinball Database is a great resource if anybody's interested in the history of pinball. We'll look at some really obscure pinball machines. They've got pictures, they got all that. So that I cribbed a lot of ideas from that. So I wrote a few drafts that were a lot larger and had a lot more slang and obscure stuff in it, but I kind of took that all out to just left most of the common things, except Berry Berry. You mentioned Berry Berry earlier.
Yeah.
And yeah, I ran into that.
What does it mean?
Yeah, I think it was you actually. So yeah, no, I don't know where that came from. Now that I'm thinking about it, something I'm sure somebody that's watching can tell the history of that more, but it is a particular sound, and I think it had to do with the Zaccaria machines, if I remember right. I don't know, Moto, maybe you know more about that.
Yeah, it is. It's a sound effect, like mainly from the Zaccaria, like Italian sounds, like when you hit a really high score, it does this little ring, and it's like a what is it called? Onomatopoeia, when it's a sound of the word.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Bow, kablam, boom.
Biff.
Biff.
Yes,
as we have Biff in this show too. So
yeah, that's in there.
It's a great. And then Chip, by working with Chip too, he also gives me like music beds without the lyrics on them, extended music beds, longer versions, shorter versions for different techniques. Like for Lisa animating the beginning of this thing, we'll be using Chip's music as the background, but that would be a really long animation, like 2.5 minutes. So you'd use something like that on our credits roll. You'll still hear the music, but we'll use a shorter cut of the music for the intro graphics that then G would then animate to or use as inspiration for different little component pieces. So speaking of that, Chip, we need to pull that for Lisa so that she has something that she knows what areas that we want to animate. This is also a bit of a production meeting, so we'll have to come up with
I left my notepad. Hold on.
No. You rocked the notes in the last meeting, man. You totally were great.
So Jonathan Chip, going back to Jonathan's question, he was saying that he was with the band Yes.
Right. Okay.
Then moved to Hollywood to work with films, and many films now. I gotta look him up on IMDb.
Yeah, I love the sound of those Yes records, especially the 80s records that were put out. So that's some really good production.
Yeah, I'm surprised there isn't a Yes pinball machine yet.
Yeah, no, they got a Rush one. I saw that the other day.
Yep. Rush is a new star name, so who knows? We just never know. A question for Lisa. What sparked your love for animation, and when did you know that that's what you wanted to do? That's a good one, Manny. Thanks.
So I think what sparked it was just things that I, watched as a kid, like so many people. It was just growing up watching it. Those were my favorite things. Like I said, Bugs Bunny, Rocky and Bullwinkle, another one. I really liked that show because it was it was so tongue-in-cheek. It was clearly written by people who just were trying to amuse themselves. So I just grew up watching that stuff, and with that kind of sensibility. I didn't think about being an animator. I didn't think about I didn't know that there were animation programs. I went to art school thinking I would do something else, and I didn't know what I was going to do for a living. I thought maybe like fashion design or graphic design, which I really, really didn't want to do because I had a sibling who did it and was miserable. But it was one of those things everyone tells you to major in because they think you're not going to make money otherwise. But I took a filmmaking class, and the filmmaking class was with somebody who was also an animator, and that led to suddenly, after about taking 2 of those classes going, oh, I guess I'm an animator now. So.
Nice.
And you've still maintained a lot of those relationships. I've noticed too online. You're still connected to all those people in the community, which I think is a really wonderful thing because it is a fairly tight knit community of animators.
It's a small world, and
Chris Sullivan.
Oh yeah, Chris Sullivan. I've known since I was 19 years old, and amazing filmmaker. Really, I'd say, I didn't mention him earlier, but yeah, probably the most influential in that sense because I knew him personally, or still know him, and yeah, and then we would work together in various commercial studios when those were around, and so because we were hopping back and forth, seeing the same people, it was just a kind of a tight knit community.
Cool.
It's gotten much bigger though, which is good. New blood coming in, which is
You're
what
teaching
we
them.
I almost also majored in fashion design, Lisa, when I started to go to college, but then quickly learned that it's too competitive of an industry that I decided to go the other art route instead.
I figured they're all competitive, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think working with fabric and working with clothing is, it's also sculptural. I think I just like building things in general, so it made sense to kind of gravitate to stop motion.
All those little puppets, all those little stages, all that's you. It's you have to be a sculptor, a set designer, a lighting coordinator. You have to do it all. And you have that control because it's all in your basement. So, or I don't know where you do your work.
Well,
but
it was in my basement.
To have a basement.
I was fortunate enough to have a basement. I realized I'm not going to animate anything on that scale ever again in that basement. It was just too hard to move in there because it's not like a finished studio. It's very much a basement. But you can do a lot with a little bit of space, but if you have a little bit of space, you just have to be aware of that. And I think I pushed it a little too far. I decided that anything I animate for myself is going to take place on like a very tiny stage from now on.
Now, do you have any new ideas for new works? I mean, you've just finished a huge project, and do you want to give a shout out to is that online yet for people to share, or is it because I know we're doing the festivals and you can't show stuff.
Yeah, so it's not yet, but yeah, as far as next projects, I'm still in the experimenting stage. I mostly noodle around. I tend to work a little backwards, where instead of starting with a story, I'll tend to start making things and figure it out from there. So right now I've just been building a lot of random things. Lots of little
well, I will happily take your time and work with you to get a cool intro. So happily take a little bit of that time, obviously.
Yes.
Chet, let's see a bass. I haven't seen this thing for 20 years.
Let's see.
There's a corner of it.
That's a corner of it. Yeah, it's a fretless bass. It has a cello neck grafted onto it. And I got the body and gave it to you to paint. And I don't know.
And I made a man munching away at it.
That's cool.
It's a bunch of jazz players that turn into a dog, and then he's got on the back.
Is that going to be a prop in the movie?
Doggy bar.
It could be. We could use it as a prop in our film. Yeah, he sent me just the wooden part of it, and then he as a painter in college, he was like, here, paint my bass. And I owed him so much for all the audio stuff they did, and I couldn't pay him. So I was like, okay, I'll paint your bass. And and then he put like 20 layers of shellac on it and made a base out of this piece of wood that he gave me. So it's only like the second time I've actually seen it all put together. Did you? I think you sent me a photo of it. Did you? Does it sound okay?
Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah, it's one of my favorite sounding basses. It's got a real character to it. It's kind of like an upright bass sound almost, but has long singing notes. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, maybe we should borrow it for a prop for the film when we get the feature going. So why not? It'll be another Easter egg. We're all about putting Easter eggs in everything and making little call outs to our friends throughout the whole film. So
yeah. And another question for you, Brian, aka Chip. What style of music do you lean towards? You have a preference? What you like?
Oh, I don't really have a preference as much. I guess I probably produced mostly rock. Kind of alternative stuff going way back. I'm a big Zappa fan, Captain Beefheart, Wayne, bands like that. But I'm also a huge jazz head. I listen to jazz all the time and classical. My mom was a classical pianist, so I've got it all. I think if you're into any kind of art, you tend to gravitate towards kind of all of it. Listening to as much as you can. Watching as much as you can. Seeing how people do things. So to me, I don't really think of it as genres as much as just different styles of expressing. So
now you're also a multi-instrumentalist, and none of what you've produced for us really was. I mean, some of the synthesizer stuff, but you did everything. You played the drums on it. You played the bass and the keyboards and the synthesizers. I gave you a little Casio sampling machine, and you even used that to add some of the quirky little noises and pinball sounds behind it.
Yep. Yeah. So, that's in that tune.
So he does it all. He's a multi-instrumentalist, and he's a perfectionist, and I love the things that he's produced to us. He made that wonderful kooky music for the reel for Lisa, and he's got this really cool, very cool, I think, blues, not necessarily blues song, a country song that we're gonna have in the film as well. So we have all kinds of genres, and the story, our feature story, is they're kids that play in a band. So he's going to be producing a ton of music for us, as well as we like to. You don't mind collaboration with other people as well. You like to collaborate with other people, work with other people, but you are the composer / organizer of all the music. People ask me about that, and I'm like, I don't know music. This is Chip's job, and you're the one that I can say this would be a great style. This is the mood I want. But then it's up to you to help us deliver that. And I think you always do an amazing job. My whole life working with you, you've always done amazing things. So
thanks. It's always fun working on your projects. So.
Awesome.
I can only say great things about my rocket scientist friend.
Do you have like a website where you kind of place a lot of the music you have composed?
I've got a Bandcamp under BK Burge. You can buy records from there. That's kind of my finished stuff. If you go to SoundCloud, I'm also under there as BK Burge, and I've got hundreds of tunes, so you can kind of listen to my process if you're interested. Half the tunes are half finished, ideas that will never probably be finished, mixed in with the finished stuff. So, but if you want the polish, go to Bandcamp. If you want the grit and dirt, go to SoundCloud.
I like
at the same time, if you
options for those two, that's great.
If you
drop
go
both
to
of them in the chat, so if y'all are interested, take
and if you subscribe to the thing, you're gonna get your finished Skillshot Baby. So if you subscribe to our first tier of Kickstarter, we're gonna send you a link to your finished version of the SSB song with the lyrics. Plus, I don't know which venue we're going to go to, if it's a Bandcamp thing or whatever, but hopefully they'll be able to connect to other music of yours when they go to that site as well to download it. So sharing the wealth, sharing the beauty of Chip's
I appreciate
collaborative efforts. Well, thank you. It's a great song. You've used it quite a lot now. Also too, what is BK Burge? That's another thing.
That's just my name.
Your moniker.
It's my name. Yeah, that's Brian.
So if you see BK Burge on there, that is you. Not just.
Where does Chip come from? We keep calling you Chip.
Yeah, I've been called that since I was 3 years old. So that's really what, my friends and family call me. So, and like I said earlier, you can call me Chip or Brian. Either one of those is fine. But those are the only two options. So.
No, yeah, and I met you in grade school. I cheated off you in grade school because I wasn't as bright as you, and you had all the answers, and I could never remember anything because I was all visual and creative and drawing. So when it came to history class, Chip was my and he was like, "Hey, here's my paper," and he was just slide it over to me, and I would look at it, and then you would also draw airplanes all the time. And
we got in trouble for that.
Yeah,
I think our social studies teacher caught us
cheating.
Cheating
off of you,
separated us.
But you were always drawing airplanes because you always wanted to create airplanes, but at the same time you were always in the studio recording, but you were always going to school, so you were in school longer than anybody else ever knew, and then at the same time you paid your way through college and basically studying engineering on spacecraft and aircraft, and you got a gig at NASA. Yep. At the same time being an audio engineer at all these studios all the time. So it was always amazing how hard you worked. So I don't know. I'm just always amazed with all of your work. So anyway, that's my little like awness of my buddy Chip. So I'm happy to have him back.
I want to say that the studio stuff isn't work because it's all fun, but it's not true. I mean, there are those times where you're like, no, I don't want to.
It's like a job.
I don't want. So, but yeah, no, most of the time, it's super fun, and being creative it's a great outlet. I've got one side of my brain where I'm super analytical all the time, and I need an outlet away from that, and music provides that. So I'm lucky to be able to help out my friends when they need it. So
can we tell one more story since I have all the stories? Can I tell one more story about you, or can you tell the story about
oh my gosh. He totally rage quit.
Yep.
He was like, no more stories, James.
All right. No problem.
Just save it for next time.
We really got 2 hours going. You don't need another story from me.
Yeah, we're about 2.5 hours in almost. Well, this is fun. Maybe he'll come back and fix my stream. Oh, maybe I'll jump in and do this little quick hacks.
Oh, we lost Chip. That was raving about Chip. All right, never mind.
Yeah, that's what
it's okay. He heard everything about how much you were raving about him. He heard all that.
Oh gosh. Hold on.
All right, well, she does that. I'm going to tell the story about Chip and without him here. So, all right. Chip used to live in this really crappy neighborhood, okay? It was a gorgeous place, and he had all of his gear there, and but it wasn't the best neighborhood. One day he was riding his bike around, and all these gang members in the neighborhood went to kick his ass, and they all dispersed and went away all of a sudden for some weird reason, and he got away. So he was back at the house, and he was mixing this one of the guys in the neighborhood's rap album, this hardcore gangster rap album, and he was like, don't ride your bike in the neighborhood anymore, Chip, because I was there that time and I told them not to get you until my album was finished. But everybody knows where you live, and they're all going to break in and take your shit. So, but I told them that they can't until till I finish my album. That's a hardcore producer story.
Did he finish the album?
Oh hell yeah, and I think he moved shortly afterward. I hope, but if he was here, he could verify that story. But that is Chip's hardcore, man. He's been working with every genre forever.
If he just never finished the album, then they wouldn't.
Then he could live there forever.
Kick his ass because it's only going to happen after you finish.
Oh. Yeah, we got overruns. Yeah. He just did the epic multi-album, it's 20,000 songs on this album.
Yeah. Be like an Opeth album, and every song's 15 minutes long.
Just layer on layer. We need more on this. We need more layers on top of this.
If anybody has a chance to go see Opeth, I highly recommend it. They put on a fantastic show. Like, it was really good.
Well, guys,
Chip's right. Are we ready
gone.
to? I don't know if Chip's coming back or not. We have the placeholder ready, so at least we can.
We're gonna do see who wins our
we can
swag.
Read our backer report.
Oh yes, my God, yes.
I would. How can you forget? I'm gonna tear up while reading all these names. Thank you again to all my friends and family and the pinball community and beyond for constantly supporting all of our crazy adventures in life, including pinball. So we're just gonna read out some names to say thank you as a shout out for our Kickstarter, and then we'll get to the giveaway wheel and see who will win a special Bart Cade token, the second one ever given away, because Jen's getting the first.
Jen's getting the first one.
She has to. All right. So thank you everyone so much. Thank you, Tracy. Outer Spacey Tracy, we see you. Thank you. To Stephanie, to Todd Tucky, and
Todd.
To Tim,
yes, all right.
Neil Hodge, my heart, Lindsay Sperling, my best friend, Holger Coing, thank you, Mike J, thank you so much, Deanna, thank you, Control Alt Deviant, thank you very much, Edward Arthur, thank you. Paul Cookies Kloss. Amazing. Thank you so much. Christopher Herbert. Thank you. Natalie Nonos.
Natalie.
Huge thanks, Natalie. Miss you. Brian Krivanak. Yes, SoCal. Thank you, sir. Nina Rossetti. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. Joel Kaiser. Jake Danzig. Big heart for Danzig. Sean Stevenson. Michael Sanders. Wow, guys. Trent. Some of these don't have last names, but I feel like I know who they are. So thank you, Trent. Gina Kerbo, thank you. Michael Wittenberg. Jackson G. Oh my God, what? Tony Becker. Tanyo Kleiss. Carrie Marsh. Shiva Harney, my own mother, supports me. Brian Dye. Jason Forbes. Rodney Weaver. Binkley. John Schlarb, thank you, John. Eric Van Dyke, Ye Old Pinball Shop. Oh, amazing. Great stuff there. David Kitch, Dude Gabrielle, Texas Pinball Festival, a show that inspired me to fall in love with pinball. Nicholas Baldridge, oh, amazing. Matt Benzick, David Paisan, Richard Wolfson, Matthew Depew, thank you. Warhog, Tress Voigt, Jim Talberg, Pirate Princess Jess, Matthew Hodges, Neil Wilson, and that's it. The Creative Fund by Backer Kit, which I think is what we have to do to start it. But thank you all so much for that. It's amazing seeing y'all's names, and we couldn't do it without you. And I also feel like I just don't even know how I'm going to repay all y'all for all your love and support, other than just completely work our asses off to make a really cool and fun product for you to enjoy. I'm flustered. This is my first time actually reading. I've been traveling and stuff so much, so now I'm finally sitting down and I logged into Kickstarter and saw all these names. I'm like, I have
Tracy says now you got to be ready for your Oscar speech.
I have a lot of great I need to send lots of invitations. We do. Thank you cards. Thank you cards.
So that's
Tracy,
a good
you should
amount
audition for the film. Why aren't you auditioning? Maybe not the short film, but the feature. You should try. Or try to
at least
for the short too.
Get on our radar. Just show up and give us a read, or tell us what you like to contribute, and we'll try to weave you into the rest of the project. A lot of cool. I don't know how many people was that. That's a ton of people. Do we have a list of how many people it was?
Yeah, that was about 50.
Wow. 50 people, but we still have a way to go. So, and again, without, if we don't hit the mark on Kickstarter, we don't get anything. So, and a lot of this, you think, oh, well, for a short film, there's this, when you start being professional about things, when you start paying people for their time, flying people in, paying for insurance, getting, feeding people, it's not really the cameras and, you can do it on a cell phone. It's really about, the human interaction part of it that costs money, and paying people for their time, and not just we're not even paying like full thing, but we want to do union pay for the actors. We want everybody to get something out of it. We don't want to have anybody have anything out of pocket, and that is our ultimate goal. So if we all share the expense, the effort, the time, people like Amoto and myself aren't getting anything out of this outside of our time and our energy, but we're the ones with the big picture, and that's why the Big Picture Show exists, was to learn about our community, learn about pinball, learn about other filmmakers, and then eventually share this kind of information with you. So thank you for putting up with this very long Big Picture Pinball Show. I'm sure there's highlights and other parts that were like, but there's a lot going on. We had a lot to share. It's a two-parter. I got 2 shows down at one time. 2 down off my contract. I love it. So yeah, it's a 2-parter. But thanks, Lisa, for hanging out with us too.
Yay! Thank you, Lisa. And
so
thank you.
Kind of a quirky
I will send
evening.
You assets very soon, I promise.
Yes, we need.
Yes, good. I've got a bunch of parts all over my floor right now that are like.
She's
thank you, Marco
spelling our
Pinball,
name.
for helping with that. It's amazing.
And thank you, Jen, and thank you, Chip, and all the people that hung out with us today. So you got to meet some of the people involved. There's a lot more people. This is 3 of the wonderful creatives that are involved on our show, but we have actors, we have, all kinds of other people involved, lighting techs, owners of bars and locations. We have a lot of other people involved, sound people. So this is just a handful of all the cool people that make this, but these are some really nice people. Everybody's really nice on this show. So they're all creative. So we want to highlight all their skills and make a really cool product for everybody. Plus you get some cool stuff. We made some really cool stuff for backers. We have posters and videos and I'm even casting little my own little SB drives with a hard drive in it. I'm casting these and making these at a friend's house so that they didn't have anything like this online. So I thought they have all of our digital assets given to people. We actually had a man design in 3D make these for us, which then I will go and cast so that I can make quantity and then throw hard drives in them. Or we can use them as necklace. Like I could use it as a ear chain or an ear. I don't know.
I can make an earring out of anything, James.
All right, I'm sending a couple to you.
You want to make?
You get all. Yeah.
I would totally make a pair of like flipper earrings as a reward.
So and if it's successful, we'll make more. People have been asking for T-shirts, but we don't have T-shirts because they're hard. Just because we have different sizes and stuff. But if this is successful, we can make T-shirts. We've got all kinds of cool art, and we're gonna have more art coming on our way as we create more things. We're gonna have more photography and more artwork made. So we'll have plenty to share. And a big shout out to Paige Pumphrey and her wonderful illustration. I've reworked it about 1,000 different ways now, but she's the artist out of New York that did the illustration. We have no idea what pinball people look like. We talked to this lady that drew cartoons. And she's like, well, it could be kind of like this, and she drew an amazing representation of what could be the characters. And that really, brings the ideas to people. So she did a really great job with the poster. So great artwork. So
yeah,
you got to give a shout
out to Paige. When I first saw it, I was like, can we just turn this into like a Scooby-Doo style animated series? Because that would be awesome.
Pinball cartoon. Only if it could play on Saturday morning.
Mysteries together.
Yeah.
right?
What kind of, this is a good question for Lisa. What kind of cartoon animals should be involved in this cartoon series we're making?
Sock monkey. Sorry, I answered for you.
The sock monkey. Well, aside like an actual the obvious choice right here.
Yeah.
What else? I don't know. Weasels.
Weasels are good.
Ooh, I was thinking the first mystery could be who stole the tilt bob.
Like,
those darn weasels every single time.
We like the weasels though, right? Sometimes I think it's.
I just
remember the weasels. Wasn't it from Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I just thought, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah,
the weasels.
The weasels. Yep.
Who the first mystery is who stole the tilt bob?
Yep.
That's genius. That's just genius. You've got.
But
me
it would
in my
be
head
like
going.
but then at the end of the day, it wouldn't be a bad thing because nobody cared because the tilt bob was gone, so they could move the machine as much as they wanted.
Except the owner of that machine, who's like.
Except the owner of the machine be like, actually, it was the kids the whole time. They were trying to solve this mystery, but then they end up being the ones who stole the tilt bob. So the owner was like, "You darn kids!"
Yeah. Somebody's got to have to take off a mask of some sort.
Yeah.
It's got to be like the owner is actually, remove the mask and find out that it was actually all his fault.
We're insured for $100,000.
So then the owner didn't care because he got the insurance money, and the kids got to move the machine as much as he wanted. So
we definitely have to make at least one cartoon that who sold the tilt bob. Kind of a Nancy Drew kind of mystery about things.
Yep.
I love it. I'm in. I'm in. We've got the we've got the animator.
One project at a time, everyone. One project at a time.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, we could do a whole live stream series where we just come up with fun pinball stories, and it'll be like fireside adventures in pinball.
We have the.
It's just literally called "Who Stole the Tilt Bob." That's the podcast right there.
I love it.
That should be a card game too.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's do the giveaway wheel, and I'll get some rest and some more work done tonight. Thank you, guys. Everyone. Thank y'all for hanging out with us for so long and learning a little bit about our project and learning a lot about people involved and the flavors that come with it. So for everyone that asked, James Scott definitely stole the tilt bob.
I just had to laugh at Tom Chichetti. Yes, he definitely stole the tilt bob for sure.
I know someone in each pinball community that definitely stole the tilt bob. So everyone that asked a question in the chat got carried over to our giveaway wheel, which I'm gonna spin now and see who the winner is. So good luck. If you didn't ask a question in the chat, I tried to give you so many opportunities to. And the winner is GJam3, and I'm gonna disqualify him because that's Jimmy. That's my love. So he's gonna get swag anyway. So let's just go again. Sorry. Oh, so maybe it was my kid Anderson being like, I want the swag. You'll get swag too. RCD. So congratulations, RCD actually asked our first question in the live stream. So RCD, if you're around and you see this part of the stream, shoot me an email to marcotv@marcopinball.com with your shipping address, and we're gonna send you a special Bartcade token and some other cool Skillshop Baby swag. And Manny, I miss the California pinball community too. North and South, it's amazing out there. RCD. So congratulations, RCD. Congrats, you win. Alright. Just putting that in the chat.
So we're gonna wrap up with the Kickstarter video that kind of explains the story, as well as some of the Kickstarter premiums. So if you haven't been done, have learned about the Kickstarter, this video is the best way for us to communicate what that's all about. So we're gonna play that, but we're gonna wrap it up on our end and close it out with that video, which is about, you know, whatever, 6 minutes long or something.
Yay!
But that outlines everything. You know, hit us up. Again, auditions this weekend. Exciting.
Yes,
Learn about stuff on the website. Keep up with us, because this whole thing will come together and we're going to present it in November. And we're going to be live streaming that and showing Emoto's documentary that she'll be showing. We have a lot of other things coming up for that presentation, and other interviews and other kind of other things that we're going to be doing, walkthroughs that we'll be sharing. So we better get going, or everybody's family's going to probably yell at them and want them home. So
yeah, they're getting
we should
loud.
probably,
They're getting
yeah.
loud.
So is my
Sorry.
wife. She's giving me the roll it, wrap it up sign. And it's like, my wife's like, James.
Thank you, everyone. If you're on Twitch too, stick around and we'll go raid some people's afterwards and hang out for a little bit longer. So yeah, I will play the video.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank
Bye.
you, Jen.
Thank you. Bye.
Talk to you soon.
So much fun.
Yeah, shout out to Jen Roop.
Bye.
Jen Roop, Lisa Passe, Emoto.
I gotta go put my kid to bed.
Alright, bye, y'all. Skillshot Baby tells the story of Jake, a young guy with a lack of direction who discovers a pinball machine his late father left behind. Jake decides to bring the game back to life. He introduces pinball to his group of friends, and they all fall in love with different aspects of the game. His secret crush, Emma, loves competing. His best friend, Carl, a programmer, falls in love with the rules. And Emma's artsy roommate, Rosie, becomes inspired by the new potential canvas. We watch these characters grow their passions and attempt to conquer the inevitable trials and tribulations of being a young adult in a chaotic world of noise. It's a coming-of-age story with a pinball twist, and we need your help to make it happen.
Hey everyone, Emoto here, and if you're at our Kickstarter page, that means you love pinball and you want to see more awesome narrative pinball content out there in the universe. And we do too. And so that's why my partners and I have created a short film entitled Skillshot Baby Pinball Epiphany. Once we make this short film and show it off into the world, we're hoping this will jumpstart us into our feature film version, which is ultimately the end goal, is that we want to create a cool feature film narrative movie about pinball. Now, Skillshot Baby, A Pinball Epiphany is a scene pulled from the main feature film. But even though it's a standalone piece, it'll still give you the look and feel and the characters involved in this overall project. Ultimately, this movie, we hope, will help bring more people into the pinball community and encourage more young people to get involved, learn about pinball, and fall in love with it like we all have. We would love to see actual pinball fans in this movie. Check out skillshotbaby.com/auditions for more information. If you're not a pinball fan yet, but you have some acting chops, please apply too. We would love to see you, and I promise by the end of this production, if you get cast, you will absolutely love pinball as well. We're really excited about this project, and we really appreciate all of y'all's support in making it happen. Thank you.
Our Kickstarter campaign for the Skillshot Baby Pinball Epiphany features 8 tiers of rewards. Everyone who contributes at any level is going to get some cool rewards. Take a look at this table. Notice the rewards are stacked. So while I'm listing the unique rewards at each tier, remember you also get the cool rewards from the lower tiers. So let's run through all 8 tiers. Tier 1, $10. You get our undying thanks because you rock. You also get a mention in the credits of the short and a shout out on Marco TV's Big Picture Pinball Show. Tier 2 at $25, digital assets. That means a web link to a screener copy of the short film, as well as a download of the Skillshot Baby theme song. Tier 3, $50, a goodie bag of Skillshot Baby merch, like a holographic sticker and a postcard with the work of renowned artist Paige Pumphrey, as well as a special Skillshot Baby Bartcade token that will be your ticket to any Skillshot Baby related events, as well as any special events sponsored by Marco Pinball at pinball shows across the country. And you also get a free domestic shipping coupon or $10 off international shipping coupon from Marco Pinball. Tier 4 at $100. You get a sneak peek to be among the first to view the Skillshot Baby short film online in November 2022. You also get a stunning limited edition Skillshot Baby enamel pin. Tier 5, $200. Whoa, pinball in 3D? Yup, that's what you'll get at Tier 5, a digital link to the mind-bending 3D version of the Skillshot Baby short to enjoy at your leisure using your 1950s tech 3D glasses. You will also get an eye-popping 3D Skillshot Baby poster to keep your mind blown 24/7. Whoa. Tier 6 at $500. Add to all of the above a stunning Skillshot Baby pinball machine translite featuring the custom artwork of Paige Humphrey. Tier 7, $1,000. We call this one the Big Shot Reward, and it's pretty special. Here are the unique Big Shot honors and rewards. Associate producer credit on the Skillshot Baby short, an IMDb credit, an opportunity for a walk-on role on the Skillshot Baby short, filming in Indianapolis, summer 2022, a custom hand-casted Skillshot Baby pinball flipper USB stick containing the short film in high definition, the short film in anaglyph 3D, the short screenplay, the feature-length screenplay, that's the good one, Skillshot Baby pinball theme song, and awesome Skillshot Baby artwork. And it looks just like a flipper, so how cool is that? Tier 8 at $2,500. We consider anyone this generous to be our angel. And here are the unique rewards and honors you get. Executive producer credit on the Skillshot Baby short, an exclusive VIP invitation to join the producers, cast, and crew at both the Skillshot Baby short wrap party and the world premiere of the Skillshot Baby short. And just like at Tier 7, Angels also get an IMDb credit, an opportunity for a walk-on role on the short film, and a custom hand-casted Skillshot Baby pinball flipper USB stick full of Skillshot Baby media. That's a lot of great rewards, and I encourage you to read more about them on the Skillshot Baby Kickstarter project page.